Yeah, let's do this. Kim Gagi, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving, my American friends. To you and overseas, this is the day America celebrates the day that the Indians helped the travelers get through the winter and showed us what we could plant and how we could plant and the big festivities. And then we killed them all. Well, we're going to start off with traditions. One of my most favorite traditions, picking out 5 items out of cookbooks or magazines, go through them a month or month and a half before Thanksgiving, pick out 6 items that you had never cooked before. The first one you pick out would be an appetizer. A second one would be a salad. A third one would be a side. The fourth one would be a meal. And the fifth one would be dessert. And the optional 6th one was a drink. So if you start this tradition every year that Thanksgiving comes up, you could carry over one of the year befores, and I can tell you one that was a side item that was very popular with me, at least. Is you grab 2 bags of spinach, olive oil, a box of raisins. I call them ferret toes, but they're called the pine nuts. And you would put the raisins into a glass of water the night before. The morning of, you'd roast the ferret toes. You would add in more olive oil and a bag or 2 of spinach. Wilt that down, add salt and pepper, throw your raisins in to warm them up. It was so good. That one I give you FOC, free of charge. Oh, that sucked. Battery died before I even got here. Just heard the horn go off for race number 1, which is the 1 miler. About 45 minutes they're going to have the race for the 10K. So I thought it was a great time to come over here real quick and do a review of my favorite tobacco, because this was my favorite day of far as a holiday was concerned when I found this event. It's the event that made it such a great holiday. And today, Autumn Evening. It's by Cornell and Diehl. Our proprietary red Virginia Cavendish is delicately cased with natural maple, resulting in our best-selling aromatic blend. Autumn Evening is captivatingly nuanced complexity, will stimulate the smoker, while those nearby will be entranced by the inviting fragrance. By sight, the tin is absolutely beautiful. It's been well painted, well sketched, and I would absolutely hang this on a wall or an area to display. Let's try to go with here's the
ribbon cut, easy to pack a bowl. I've never had a problem with lighting. Taste, it's not really complicated. It's just a pleasure to smoke. The smell is captivating. I mean, most people that I've ever smoked this around, they've all said, you know, I don't know what the flavor is, but I can smell it and it smells delicious. And I go, it is delicious if you're into a pipe smoking, hobby. I found Autumn Evening. I found it in a pouch, so it was 1 or 2 ounces. Loved it. Went out and bought the tin. I had a horrible experience. The flavor was not what it was that I found in the pouch. But then I found out that you open up a tin sometimes, and if you do smoke it and you don't like it, put it in a jar and let it sit for a month. Sometimes you might have got a fresh batch, which I guess they put a coating on there to keep it moist. I just ran out of it and I needed to open up a new tin, and it happened to be today is one of my most favorite holidays when I was able to run, and that's what we're here for. I'm here to share with you what became a tradition for me. So it was about 18 years ago. I was overweight, kind of like I am now, and I joined a martial arts club or business, and I lost a lot of weight, but then something went wrong in the karate studio, dojo, whatever you want to call it, and I saw the end coming, and I had put in 2.5 years into this martial arts. And one of the things that we always had to do was run in the beginning of class. Well, it goes back to my first wife. She signed us up for this thing called the turkey trot. 18 years ago, I didn't know what a 10K was. And we always ran a mile in martial arts, so I said, the world doesn't know how to count 10. 10 is easy. Well, I ran this race about 18 years ago. And I remember right around the corner here, it was probably on the 4th mile, I felt my right hamstring kind of pop. And I soon realized within about 200 yards, yeah, I didn't feel so good. So I went to walking. And I could walk and run. And it's a big, long lake. And you curve around at the race, and you come back around, you go through the center, and I'll show you, but kind of where you're pointing at, behind that building, is where the finish line was. And at the end of that run, me and my first wife started this tradition of cooking 5 different things. I know I said 6, but it was 5 different things after the run. Well, I could barely get up the 4 steps to get in the house, let alone an entire flight of stairs to get up to the bedroom. And then to cook all day, I was hooked to running. But the more important part of that whole entire run was at the end, I went up and I looked at this board at the end of this run when I finished. I looked, and on the board had my number, my bib number. And I walked over and said, hey, my bib number's on there. They said, oh, you win a free entry into the Shamrock Marathon. You can do the full or the half. So a full is 26.2 and a half is 13.1 miles. We are at the end of November, and the Shamrock event is in March. And I kind of thought, that's a little soon, but you know, I'm so cheap, and I looked it up, and the half marathon, I think it was like $90 or $100. I couldn't just let that go away. I had to use it. So I started my training. And that started my journey in running. And I became quite competitive over the years after that. Lost my weight, got down to 176 pounds. I was just loving life, and I was running probably close to 40 races a year, if not sometimes 2 races on a weekend, so one on a Saturday and one on a Sunday. So I've ran 3 full marathons, 50 half marathons, and over 200 other length races, 5Ks, 10Ks, 15Ks, 10 milers. And it was just a lifestyle. You know, and I literally knew my schedule for the year, 12 months, of what races I was going to run. And occasionally one would pop up and you'd be like, hey, you want to go run that one? Yeah, sure, let's do it. But to wrap it up, if you're not a pipe smoker and you want to try something out, they do sell them in smaller pouch bags of 1 ounce to half pound to 5 pounds if you want. All right, see you on the other side. But this is where let's do this comes into my videos. It was sitting in this starting line waiting for the start. You've done all your training runs and you're going to run as fast as you can for a 10K. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stay relaxed, stay relaxed. Fastest 10K on this course was set back in 1996 by a name of Tommy Holland at 30 minutes 22 seconds. And in 2008, the female finisher fastest was Natalie Sherbach at 35 minutes and 12 seconds. What I like about this race is it's part of the Tidewater Striders. It is one of the largest running groups in the world. That's the greatest thing about this sport. It's a sport against yourself. It's not a sport against the person in front of you that you're trying to overtake. They're just giving you the motivation to get to your PR. And you know, if you keep track of it, it's just a wonderful way to keep fit, keep healthy, a social circle that all has the same want and love. Running is, I just want to lose the weight now. This is getting me pumped up for if I can't run this next year because my leg doesn't come back. I'm sure as hell going to come here and walk it. It is 25 minutes into the race. This is where the suck comes in. because either you started out too fast or hopefully you started out just right in the running. But you just never know. Did you fuel right from the day before? Did you have a cocktail or two the night before? You just start hating life right about now. But it's all going to be worth it when it's all said and done. It's achieving something every single time you go out and run.
All right, here we go. We got our first finisher. Put your hands together. First finisher, Turkey Trot 2023. Looks like we have a second finisher right behind them. There's our second finisher. Way to go, you two. Winner plays the trail. Congratulations, top two. JK, here we go, man. Numbers are posted beside the awards table.
So, it used to be there's a little business around the corner that would, guy would have a keg and we would all sit around and drink a couple beers before we'd head off home. You drink a lot of beer as a runner.
So, I hope everybody has a wonderful Thanksgiving, and hopefully you're around family. And for you across the pond, that's a tradition for at least my life for many years. So, and there's the follow-up vehicle that brings in the last person. Happy Thanksgiving, and see you on the next one, everybody. Embrace the suck, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving, buddy.
From the distance, I thought, with the orange stripes, I thought, hey, that guy's on the Denver Broncos.
Have a happy Thanksgiving, man. You want to race?
No.
And for any of you men or women that are single and that are looking, running is one of the best hobbies that you can get into. There's a lot of misremembers here.